Welcome to Crafty Chemist Designs. Today I have a great project for you. But first, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so that you can see every time I drop a new video. On with the project. First, I'm going to cut a piece of this designer series paper. This is from the Meant to Be Scrapbooking Workshop Kit. It's one of the exclusive papers. And I'm going to cut this at 8 inches. So I have a piece that's 8 inch and a piece that's 4 inch. The 8 inch piece is going to be labeled A, and the 4 inch piece will be labeled J. Next, I'm going to take another piece of designer series paper. This one is from Bloom Impressions. And the reason I'm using from different suites is because I'm trying to match my niece's colors of her bridal shower. And her colors were blue and yellow. And then my mom was wearing a little bit of pink, so I thought these colors would go nicely with all of our pictures from the event. So this piece, the 4 inch piece, is going to be labeled D, and this piece is going to be labeled G. Now I need some cardstock, and I'm using this blueberry bushel. Again, it went with my niece's colors. Her theme was coastal, so this is kind of a coastal blue, and it matched with everybody's outfits. So the first cut I'm going to make is at 1.5. And then at 8 inches. The 8 inch piece will be B, and the 4 inch piece will be E. Okay, and then I'm going to take another cut at 1.5. This time I'm going to cut it at 10 1/4. And this piece is N. And then this piece I'm going to cut at 1 1/4. And this is M, like Mary. Another piece that's 1.5. And cut a piece that's at 4. Turn this and cut it at 4. This is K. Another piece that's at 4. I'm going to label this one K also. And then lastly, we're going to cut this at 5 1/4. Let's cut this by 7 1/4. So let's cut the 7 1/4 first, and then 5 1/4. And this piece is I. Okay, so that's all from our cardstock blueberry bushel. These are left over. Next, I'm taking some white willow. You can use basic white, 8.5 by 11. And I'm going to cut 2 pieces that are 6.5 by 4.5. And then I'm going to label these as C, and you can do both of them as C. And then we need 3 pieces that are 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And I'm going to label one of these as F and then 2 of them as L's. And then lastly, we need a piece that is 6 by 8. Now that's assembled. I'm going to start with piece A. And I'm using just a piece of white willow paper as my background because really it's going to be totally covered up. So I'm going to place this flush to the left and to the top. Perfect. And then D, which should be your second piece of designer series paper. Okay, line them up, there we go. And then this piece is G, and I'm going to put G on the right hand side. Right here. Okay. And then we take piece J. And put it here. So you can see I totally covered all of the base. Now I'm going to take piece B. It should be one of these. Let's see. Yeah, this is B. And I'm going to put it 5 1/4 down from the top. 1, 2, 3, 5. So right about here. See, and it should fit straight across. Then we should take the 2 C pieces And we're going to layer them there. And I'm making it about 1/2 inch down from the top and about 3/4 of an inch from the left side. Just center it the best you can. And I'm doing the same here. Now the pictures are going to go right on top of these. Okay, let's attach piece E, which should be this piece. Let's see. Yeah, E. And I'm going to place it 1 inch from the bottom over here on this side. And it should match the edge over here pretty good. Then let's take piece F, which is one of the photo mats, and we are going to center it on that. I'm going to try and make it about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom, but just basically center it over that. Okay, let's attach piece H, which I think was this one. Yeah, I didn't label this one. This is H. This is going to be a big picture. I'll probably put the bride on there, maybe the bride and her mother. Let's make it about 3/4 of an inch down and about 1 inch from the edge, something like that. And then we're going to attach piece I right on top of that. Just going to center it. Okay, now we're going to get the 2 pieces that we marked K, which are these pieces. Okay, this one's going to be about 1.5 inches from the top. So right about here. And then the other K and then I'm going to try and put about 2.5 inches between the two. Now let's put L centering on these. kind of center this right here. Oops, I put it on the wrong side. That's okay. I will erase that. Although a picture is going to go right over that. Okay, I got my eraser, and let's erase this L. But again, picture's going to go on top of that. Okay, the last two pieces that we have should be, did I label these ones? Yes, N and M. Okay, N and M. And these go here like this. Okay, and they're supposed to match up with this piece, so make sure that it goes across. But for some visual interest, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of tie these together with the ribbon. And to make sure that they're even, I'm kind of putting them together, so I'm going to cut it at the same time. I don't know if this is going to work, but let's see. And I'm trying to make it right in the center. It doesn't really work, but at least I have the impressions, and then I can match it up. Oops. Okay, right about there. There we go. Whew. And then right about here. Okay. Whew. And so make sure these go, okay, this goes this way. I am going to put adhesive on this side of the hole and on this side. Let's put some adhesive on here. Okay, but before we put them down, hard, I could maybe do it like this. I'm going to take some thread. You can use ribbon or thread. This is from the Natural Tones linen, and I'm going to cut a little bit off. More than what I'll probably need, but I'm not sure how much it's going to take. And then thread it through this way. And then this piece kind of through this way. And then tie it in a bow. It's just like we're tying the two ends together. And I do want to try and tie it so the center of the bow is, you know, centered across these two pieces. Now, if you don't want to do this, just cut your piece 12 inches. There we go. And then I will trim this down. I think I'm going to use a mini glue dot to hold that down. There we go, just so it stays in place. Okay, now it is time for the pictures. I have one 5x7 picture for here. This is the bride and my sister, her mom. I've got these. These are 4x6. And I'm putting them right on these white mats. And then I have these 3x3. This is of the venue. Okay, so the groom showed up about 20 minutes left in the shower. And so we have a picture of him with his mom and her with her mom. Okay, let's put these last two down. This is a little close-up of the guests and what the venue looked like. This is the outside of the venue, so we remember the name. Okay, now let's put on a title. I cut this on my Cricut. I just cut bridal shower. I cut it in white, for one, to match the white mats, but also I thought it would be nice. It would show up nicely on this dark background. Okay. There we go, bridal. And now a shower. When I'm doing these, I usually hold down one side because these letters can really get bent up if you go too hard on them. And I don't want that. Maybe I should get into the habit of using my double-sided adhesive sheets to cut these. I just am not in the habit of doing that. Okay. I did kind of bend you see where I bent a couple of these, but it should be okay. Let me just dot the I. Okay, I decided to put a little journaling box here so I can add some commentary from the day. You could put another picture there if you want. You could decorate it with, flowers, tags, whatever you want. I'm just going to make that a journaling box, but I will journal with that later. Okay, now let's put these in to our page protectors, because here comes the best part. Now you can see this is a bridal shower, and I had so many pictures. And you know, I mean, I don't want to have 50 layouts of the bridal shower because we've got so many other things that we need to scrapbook too. The wedding, the bachelorette party, you know, so on. So what I'm going to do is add flip flaps. Okay, I'm going to add these other pictures with a flip flap. Have you seen flip flaps before? Flip flaps are memory protectors that have a sort of a sticky layer here on them. You peel this off, and then you could stick it to your picture and then add additional pictures to your layout. That way you can get more pictures on a page. We have these in 4x6, 3x4, I think 4x4. I'm going to use some 4x6. And actually what I'm going to do is show you how to create something called a cascade accordion. That's called an accordion style flip flap. So if you want to just add, you know, 2 extra pictures here, you could put this on here and tape it down, and then you would get, you know, 2 more pictures. And you want to put your page protectors on first. These flip flaps are going to go on the page protector, the outside of the page protector. Okay, so I've already put my pictures in here. Okay, and since I'm having it open to the side, I put my pictures in like this. If you're putting them in, say I had a 5x7 and I was going to put it here, you want to make sure that this one is facing, you know, up and down. But then when you flip it over, you have to remember that the top is going to be up here on this picture. Here's the top on this picture, the bottom on this picture. Okay, whereas here, it's going to be the top and the bottom. Not a great example since my picture is going side to side, but hopefully you get the idea. And if you do it wrong, you'll notice right away. But okay, I'm going to do this accordion design. So first I'm going to take this one. I've already put my pictures in. And take off the backing. Okay, and I'm pushing the backing to the back. This is sticky on this side, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up so that this picture that I'm putting on top covers the picture below, okay? So when you're looking at it, you can't really see the picture below. But now look, you see how you can take this out? Now I'm seeing all of these pictures. This is my mom, my niece, all right, some of the guests. This is my niece at the cake and gift table. Okay, but now I'm going to take it one step further. I have one other set of pictures that I want to use. Again, we got a lot of really nice pictures. And I want to put this one here, okay? And I want them to accordion out, okay? So on this picture, or this flip flap, I put the adhesive, you know, on this side, so to the right of the top picture. On this one, I have the adhesive to the left of the top picture. Okay, and I'm going to, it's sticky on the back, so really what I'm going to do is line it up with this top one. And again, we're making sure that we're covering up the picture below. Okay, there we go. So right now it looks like, a normal layout, but then bam, you can pull out these other pictures. Isn't that amazing? So I've got 5 pictures on this one spot. Isn't that amazing? Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the project. You can purchase any of the items discussed in the video at my website, thecraftychemist.stampinup.net. I have a Facebook business page, Crafty Chemist Designs, where I go live and do demos every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Time. I also have a Facebook VIP group called The Crafty Chemist Presents Stampin' Up, where you can post your work, ask questions, and have a good time. You can also find me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Crafty Chemist Designs. And my blog is periodicallycrafty.blogspot.com.